What's up, y'all? IOBA. My name is TC. I just saw a video by Nick Fuentes. Y'all know who Nick Fuentes is, right? He is a self-admitted white supremacist. He run with Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, all of them types. And his whole thing is how much, in this video anyway, his whole thing is how much black people suck. And how every time somebody run into a black person, they have a negative experience. Like, black people is just useless. And every time you run into one, it's going to be a problem. I don't give a damn if you're in a restaurant, at an airport, or the DMV, or shopping, or on the phone. Every time you as a white person, run into one of us, it's going to be bad. It's going to be a negative experience. Now, it's been my experience that every time one of these dudes needs a little bump in their analytics or their algorithm, they start talking shit about black people and how bad black people are. What's that other fool named Myron Gaines? The other asshole, Charleston White. Now, Charleston White is a black dude. But every time one of these motherfuckers' algorithm tells them that they need a bump, they start trashing black people. And they find the worst examples that they could think of and try to paint all black people that way. Now, it would be easy for me or somebody like me to do the same thing, to white folks. I could run around saying, every time I got ripped off out of a whole gang of money, like thousands of dollars, a white person did it to me. Or every time my progress got impeded, while I was trying to, advance at work or something, a white person impeded it. Every time this or every time that, every time something bad happened to me or every bad interaction I had doing business, it was doing business with a white person. I could say the same shit. And I could find examples to support my position. But ain't nobody trying to hear that. That's not going to bump my algorithm or get me more views. That's just going to get me kicked off, the platform. But he can sit here, people like Nick Fuentes can sit here and say, black people suck. And, he gets rewarded for it. You dig me? So he out here, Nick Fuentes, and that sounds like a Hispanic name to me. Anyway, Nick Fuentes out here talking that kind of shit. You would think that the anti-black hatred, anti-black racism grift would be, kind of played, but it's not. It's still going on, and people still milking it, because that's all they do. Because that line of bullshit that he throwing out about black people walking around with their pants sagging, and every time he go into an office and ask a black person something, he get a negative response or or they're rude or this or that. Look, they probably, because black people who work don't sag their pants, because in most places that I worked at or I've known people to work at, it's against the dress code. And that's number one. And number two, somebody should wake this motherfucker up and tell him 1995 is over with. Black people don't dress like that. Anyway, not responsible working black people, which are the vast majority of us. We don't do that. I don't know where this motherfucker been hanging out at, where he see black people who still sag their pants. I don't know. Because I know goddamn well he ain't rolling up in no business and seeing black folks acting like what he described. And as far as tips go, we tipped. He said something about black people don't tip when we go to restaurants. He had laid out a whole bunch of stupid shit. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to go over the shit point by point because it's stupid. But guys like Nick Fuentes and Myron Gaines and Charlie Kirk, that's the one that said that when he go to take a flight and he see that the pilot is black, he wonder if the motherfucker's qualified. Like, they just handing out goddamn, pilot licenses because they got to, meet a certain quota and have a certain number of black pilots. Like, we don't have to take the test. We don't have to go to school and get qualified and get trained or any of that. We just need, and I ain't had one of these motherfuckers explain to me yet where the intelligence line is. Like, from a real dark-skinned brother like me to the whitest white boy out there and all of the spectrum in between. Where's the cutoff? When does your intelligence start to shift one way or the other? At what point in your melanin journey does your intelligence start to change? For the good or for the bad? At what point? Like, I want to know that because ain't nobody been able to answer that fucking question for me yet. And I want Nick Fuentes, if he ever see a video like this, to explain that to me. But he can't, because all he's doing is running his mouth about people he don't even know. I asked this motherfucker to name me 10 black people that he ran into that treated him like that. He wouldn't be able to do it. All he's doing is running his mouth because he know that the more shit he talk about black people, the more people will tune in to watch him because they want to hear that. Because in their mind, they believe that. They don't go and find the worst white person they can find and try to label all white people like that. They don't go and find the worst Hispanic that they can find and label all Hispanics like that. Or the worst Asian that they can find. Or the worst East Indian that they can find. Or the worst Indigenous American that they can find. And label all people like that. They don't do that. They just do that shit with black people. Well, I say, Nick, if you need clicks that bad, if your motherfucking mortgage is behind and you need clicks and you need money that bad, do your thing. Go ahead, do your thing. But anybody that believe that bullshit just as dumb as you are, Nick and Myron and anybody else from that crew, anybody who believe that shit is just as dumb as you and uninformed and ignorant and racist as you are. That's another thing. These motherfuckers hate being called racist when that's exactly what they are. They hate being called racist when that's exactly what the fuck they are. But I digress. Nick Fuentes, that's the part to get me the name. His name is Fuentes. He's Hispanic. He's a white Hispanic. Nick Fuentes, black people don't suck. You suck. And that's it for now, y'all. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on your way out. TC. And I'm out. Peace.